Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be going over the top 10 Premier League games of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. And yeah, there's been a lot of good games this season, of course, like every season. I managed to narrow it down to 10, and these are my 10 personal favourites and the ones that were mainly most entertaining, of course. So I'll crack straight on with it. Number 10, Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1, June 25th, 2020. Yeah, this game was not only a good game, it was a very important one as well. Probably one of the best games after the lockdown. Chelsea hosted Man City at Stamford Bridge, and yeah, the game was basically Chelsea had to win for their top 4 hopes, and Man City, if they didn't win the game, Liverpool would be crowned champions for the first time in 30 years. That's exactly what happened. Chelsea won the match 2-1. Christian Pulisic netted the opener in the first half after an error from Benjamin Mendy. Kevin De Bruyne equalised with a fantastic free kick to bring the game level. Man City went on to look pretty good from there, but then Chelsea, a penalty, Fernandinho, a blatant handball on the line, allowed Willian to step up and score the penalty, which sealed the Premier League title for Liverpool and added to Chelsea's top 4 hopes, which got really lost in this actually, because this was a big game for Chelsea as well. But yeah, this give Liverpool the title. That's all this game's really known for. But yeah, this was a very entertaining game actually. I think the stakes in the game made it a better game as well. If it wasn't really anything on the line, it might not have really been as good. But because there was so much on the line, this was a really entertaining game. Like, not loads of goals, only the 3 goals, but still, though, good game. And yeah, it makes 10th in my list. Number 9, Liverpool 5, Chelsea 3, July 22nd, 2020. Sorry for a little pause there. But yeah, this was a very good game. This was a game that's kind of the opposite of what I've just really spoke about. There was a little bit on the line here. Chelsea had to do something for their top 4 hopes. That never really happened. Liverpool won the match 5-3. It was a very good game, but it was a game that it felt like neither team were really playing for an awful lot. It felt like an end of the season kickabout that you now and then get in the season, really. Both Liverpool were already champions. They wanted to end the season at Anfield on a high, and that's what they did. Liverpool were 3-0 up in the match thanks to goals from Naby Keita, Gini Wijnaldum and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Chelsea pulled on back with Olivier Giroud, and then Roberto Firmino made it 4-1, Firmino's first Anfield goal of the season right at the end of the season, and then Chelsea pulled a couple more goals back, and Liverpool also added a 5th of the game as well. But yeah, this was an entertaining game. Not what really felt like a game that wasn't really a lot to play for, and both teams were playing with an awful lot of freedom. There was somewhat on the line for Chelsea, but for Liverpool there wasn't really. And this game kind of underlines how Chelsea do need to improve defensively in this transfer window. But yeah, this was a good game, an 8-goal thriller at Anfield between the two. Got to put it in there just for that reason. Number 8, Watford 2, Everton 3, February 1st, 2020. Yeah, this was a good game actually. This was a game that could well have derailed Watford to the relegation. This was one of the important games. Watford 2-0 up in this match, cruising. Everton then pulled 2 goals back in first half stoppage time. That's a double from Yerry Mina. A centre-back scored 2 goals in this game. And then Fabian Delph gets sent off in the second half. And then I'm kind of thinking, who's going to be, Watford has surely got to win this now. But no, Theo Walcott scores a last-minute winner as Everton go to a pretty important win. I mean, the win didn't really do a lot for Everton's season, but a very damaging defeat to Watford. Probably Watford's most damaging, actually, of the season, in my opinion, that really might well have condemned them to relegation. Massive result, really, this one, in terms of that. But it was an entertaining game from start to finish, though, really. A game that Watford surely felt like they had to win, but they didn't in the end, and this one of the reasons they got relegated, not winning games like this when they should have. Number 7, Wolves 1, Liverpool 2, January 23rd, 2020. Yeah, this may not be in everyone's list, but I think this was a very, very good game between two teams who were just very good teams. Liverpool travelled to Molineux, always a difficult place to go, of course. And yeah, Liverpool go 1-0 up thanks to a Jordan Henderson goal, and you're thinking from there, Liverpool should go on and win this game quite comfortably. That didn't happen. Wolves played very, very well in this match. Adama Traore had a very good game. Raul Jimenez equalised for Wolves in the second half, and then it was a Roberto Firmino winner in the second half quite late on. Very good game, really, this one. It just felt like it was 2 very good teams going at it. Wolves were desperately unlucky on the day not to get anything out of the game. If Wolves were playing any other team on this day, they'd probably have won the match, to be honest with you. Liverpool at this point of the season, though, were playing very, very well. And even on a day when they had a bit of an off day, they managed to grind out a win. And that's exactly why they won the title as convincingly as they did. But yeah, overall, great result for Liverpool, this one. Again, the reason they're champions, grinding out results when they're not playing at their best. But this just felt like two very good teams playing against each other, to be honest with you. It was a very good game of football, one that I could watch again, happily. I remember watching this game at the time and being very impressed by it from both teams as well. Number 6, Leicester City 0, Liverpool 4, December 26th, 2019. Yeah, if there was ever a game where I think you can say Liverpool pretty much put down their marker they were going to be Premier League champions, it was this one. Leicester City was second in the table going into Boxing Day, and Liverpool travelled to the King Power and absolutely destroyed them 4-0. Leicester barely got a sniff at the Liverpool goal. It was so convincing for Liverpool. They absolutely took Leicester apart. Trent Alexander-Arnold put in one of the greatest individual performances I've ever seen personally. And yeah, they just took Leicester apart on this day. This game was the game where everyone started to think, look, Liverpool have got to win the Premier League now. Leicester's form fell off a cliff after this as well. They never really recovered too much. They finished outside the top 4 in the end. As for Liverpool, though, yeah, this was brilliant. This was absolutely fantastic. And it was the way, it wasn't the fact it was a classic because there was only one team in it. There was a one-sided affair, but the way Liverpool took Leicester apart in a game that everyone thought would be very entertaining was quite something to watch. It was brilliant. Number 5, West Ham United 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, February 1st, 2020. A relegation battle classic in February is always very good to watch, and both teams stayed up pretty comfortably in the end, to be fair, but this was a very good game. It's a game that I think underlines that how West Ham can't defend. West Ham made a lot of defensive howlers in this match, but it was very good to watch, though, from a neutral's point of view. Two teams who weren't at their best defensively, and it just made for a very good game. A 3-3 draw, back and forth. Both teams went at it. It wasn't the greatest quality because there's so many errors in the game, but yeah, the 3-3 draw didn't really, again, both teams stayed up convincingly, so in the long run it didn't really have a lot of effect for them both. But it was a very good game of football, though, this one was. It was one of them entertaining mid-season classics that you very occasionally get. It makes 5th in my list. Number 4, Sheffield United 3, Manchester United 3, November 24th, 2019. Bit of a weird one, this. Put this one in there because the game it sounds actually better than what it actually was, but it was the fact the game took a lot of twists and turns. Sheffield United absolutely dominated the first 70 minutes of this match. 2-0 up, cruising. Man United were looking like they were going to slump to a convincing defeat. Well, out of nowhere, in a 7-minute spell, Man United scored 3 goals with Brandon Williams, Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. And you think Man United have stole a victory from the informed Sheffield United, but no, a last-minute equaliser from Ollie McBurney stopped that. As yeah, the game ended 3-3. And the reason I put it in there is because, again, the game had so many twists and turns. It wasn't a normal sort of game that you watch in the Premier League. The game had twists. It was brilliant to watch. It was just a very entertaining game. And, because of the fact that it had so many twists and turns in it as well. Sheffield were very good for 70 minutes. They dominated Manchester United until they had a random 7-minute spell of scoring 3 goals. Kind of summed up Man United in the first half of the season, really. But yeah, this was a very entertaining game, to be fair. I really enjoyed watching this one. Number 3, Watford 3, Liverpool 0, February 29th, 2020. Yeah, this one is in here for one reason only, and that's because the shock of the game, really. I don't think anyone watching this match would ever have thought Watford would win, never mind win 3-0 convincingly. The first half wasn't the best, it was quite a dull game the first half, but Watford in the second half really came out the blocks and won the match 3-0. Watford have beat Liverpool 3-0 in the Premier League before, back in December 2015, but that was a very different Liverpool. It was a Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, but it was the old Liverpool who were poor defensively and not by no means miles off the top of the league. This Liverpool, though, were 44 Premier League games unbeaten, a run which stretched back to January 2019, and Watford won 3-0 convincingly. Yeah, Watford were very good in the game. Ismaila Sarr turned up and had a brilliant day. And yeah, 3-0. This game will be long-living Premier League history, I believe, because no one saw the result coming, especially 3-0. And the fact that Watford went on to get relegated makes it even more shocking. But yeah, overall, though, this was just in there because it's a pure, no one saw this coming. That's the only reason I've really put this in there, to be fair. But yeah, what a shock this one was. Number 2, Norwich City 3, Manchester City 2, September 14th, 2019. Oh, this really was a shock. I mean, I go on about Watford Liverpool being a shock. This was arguably worse. So September 14th, 2019, Norwich City v Man City. Norwich City have near enough most of their back four ruled out of this match. People were expecting a cricket score for Man City in this game. And Norwich City went toe-to-toe with Man City. Of course, Norwich City don't really know how to defend, and they won the match 3-2. It was just one of them games where not many teams, if any team in the Premier League, can go toe-to-toe with Man City and win. But that's what happened. Norwich City were absolutely brilliant. They took their chances. And it was one of them early season performances from a newly promoted team where they put everything into it. But unfortunately, in the long run, this win did nothing for Norwich as they convincingly got relegated. But yeah, it was a very good game as well. It just, watching it was like crazy because everyone expected Man City to steamroll them. And Norwich won 3-2. And it was just one of them classic games that you get sometimes. David versus Goliath. And yeah, brilliant. Unfortunately, this did nothing for Norwich in the long run, but it was a very good game. Number 1, Wolves 3, Manchester City 2, December 27th, 2019. Yeah, another 3-2 Man City defeat to end the list. The best two games, in my opinion, have been 3-2 Man City defeats. And this one was an absolute quality game, in my opinion. And one that I never I struggled to get bored of watching. So, Man City get Ederson sent off early on, and you're thinking, Wolves have got a very good chance of doing a league double over Man City here. Wolves also beat Man City 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium back in October. But, yeah, so Man City go 1-0 up through Raheem Sterling, then 2-0 up in the second half through Sterling. You actually think a 10-man Man City going to get away with a win here. I mean, if any team can win with 10 men, it probably is Man City or Liverpool in the Premier League. But no, Wolves come back and win the match 3-2. Goals from Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez and Matt Doherty seal the points. But the game was it was a brilliant game of football, really. Watching the 10 men of Man City trying their hardest to stay in the game and go 2-0 up. To Wolves' fight back, a dramatic fight back at the end of the game. It was very good. I mean, and this also completed a league double over Man City for Wolves as well, which is truly impressive. But yeah, a very good game of football here. But yeah, that's my top 10 Premier League games of the season, 2019-20. If you'd change anything, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, thank you for watching anyway. And yeah, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Oh, a quick note, by the way. I will be predicting Fulham versus Brentford right now. I'm going to go for the Championship playoff game later. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brentford win. I'd like to see Brentford in the Premier League. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Brentford win. And they will be fresh faces of the Premier League. And I don't mind Fulham. I don't really mind who wins this match, really. But I'm just hoping for an entertaining game for a neutral later on. But yeah, that's my prediction for later on. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. And yeah, so thank you for watching anyway. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.